Welcome to class. This is the third of the Relax and Unwind series, and you'll have 2 blankets and a strap available to you for class. And the way that I have myself set up is I just have a folded blanket over my mat for added comfort, and then I'm sitting on a pillow because I did not have an extra blanket. So if you don't have an extra blanket, you can use a pillow cushion, or like a folded towel underneath your seat just to raise your hips up a little bit. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. And today's class will be focused on releasing any tension that you're holding onto in the shoulders and kind of exploring the shoulder joint itself. So once you've found a comfortable seat, go ahead and soften the gaze or close your eyes. And just notice your space. Notice your seat. See if you can shift your rib cage back slightly in line with the top of the pelvis. And tuck the chin slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. And start to tune into your breath here. And taking a deep inhale through the nose. Really fill up the rib cage, grow a little taller. And exhale, sigh out the mouth. On your next inhale, as you grow tall, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale, shoulders fall back and down. You can sigh at your mouth again. Dissolving any tension that you're holding. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale, shrug the shoulders back and down. Really sinking into your seat. Allowing the tops of the shoulders to hang heavy. See if you can soften the space between the eyebrows. Softening any tension that you're holding at the jaw. Maybe you wiggle the lower jaw around a little bit. And just take a moment here in stillness and in silence, or maybe you have a little background music, to really tune into your breath and turn your gaze internally. Noticing anything that you're feeling, anywhere you're feeling any tension. Inhale to create space. And exhale to dissolve tension. And slowly on your next inhale, start to grow a little bit taller, growing through the crown of the head, the spine lengthens. And exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest, keeping your shoulders back and down. The head hangs heavy. And from here, take 2 deep breaths. Noticing where you're feeling this at the back of the neck, maybe down the sides of the back. Notice as you inhale, the front of the chest will float up towards the chin. And then as you exhale, you'll create a little bit more space at the front of the throat. You can bring your palms to the back of your neck, interlacing your fingers, and then instead of pulling down on your head to stretch the back of the neck, press your head into your hands. And slowly release the hands down by your sides and inhale the right ear to the right shoulder. Bringing your right hand on top of your left ear. Press your left ear or the left side of your head into your right hand, creating a little bit more space at the left side of the neck. And maybe you extend your left hand out beside you. You can flip your palm up and down. Just exploring the different muscles and tendons and feeling that stretch at the left side of the neck. You can relax your left hand down, release the right hand from the top of the head, and allow your head to hang heavy, chin to chest. And take a deep breath here, breathing into the upper back. Exhale, your shoulders fall back and down. On your next inhale, bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Reaching your right shoulder back and down away from your right ear. You can keep your eyes closed here and bring your left palm to the right temple, right ear. Pressing your head into your hand. Exploring any tension that you're holding at the right side of the neck. Maybe you reach the right fingertips away from you. Noticing if this side feels different from the last side. You can flip your palm up and down, rotating the arm, exploring the right side of the neck. You keep accessing your breath. So as you inhale, you're creating a little bit more space. And as you exhale, dissolve any tension that you're holding on to. You can release your right hand back down, releasing your left hand away from the right ear, and guiding your chin back towards your chest. And slowly start to make circles with the head, releasing any more tension, massaging out the kinks in the neck. And start to move your head in the opposite direction. And slowly guide your head back up to a neutral position. And then we're going to explore the shoulder joint a little bit. So bringing your left hand to the right front of your shoulder and extend your right arm out beside you. And you can bend the right arm if you have a neighbor nearby, or you can leave your right arm fully extended. And just start to make circles with the arm. And these can be small circles or large circles, just starting to warm up the shoulder joint. And your left hand is here at your right shoulder joint to explore the bones that all work together to come to form this glenohumeral joint. So you have your clavicle at the front of the chest, and then you have the top of the arm bone, the humerus bone, moving within the glenoid fossa, or the glenoid cavity, which is a depression in your scapula, which is your shoulder blade at the back of the body, which is kind of floating around at the top of the right shoulder. You can start to circle your arm in the opposite direction. You can move your left hand around your right shoulder joint just to explore how everything's moving together. And maybe you're feeling some popping and cracking, just noticing that you're waking everything up. And go ahead and rest your right arm down. And we'll switch to the other side. So bringing your right hand to your left shoulder, this time reaching the left fingertips away from you and starting to create circles with the left arm this time. Maybe you close your eyes and turn your gaze internally, seeing if you can kind of visualize what's happening at this ball and socket joint. And just moving with the breath, really exploring your range of motion at the shoulder joint, starting to make circles with the arm in the opposite direction. Getting some blood flow to the shoulder joint before we stretch the muscles that connect to the shoulder. And go ahead and rest your left hand down, release your right arm down, and just sit in stillness here. Maybe you close the eyes and just notice the effects. And then if you have a belt or a strap nearby, go ahead and grab that. And you'll bring your hands on the strap or a belt to a V shape in front of you. So kind of where your knees are pointing if you're sitting cross-legged like I am, and then pull the strap until it's taut. And you'll bring the strap overhead and then pull the strap, kind of pull your hands away from each other, and you'll feel the shoulder blades hug together on your back. And notice when you did this, if you swayed the back out and your front ribs splayed in, see if you can tuck the tailbone, tuck the lower ribs in, and keep the vertebrae stacked on top of each other. And from here, we'll start to bend over to the right, keeping the strap nice and straight between the hands. And you'll start to feel a stretch to the left side of the body. You can turn your gaze to the left. And take 2 deep breaths here. Inhaling into the left side body, expanding the left side lung. And then inhale, come back up. And exhale over to the left side this time. You can turn your gaze to the right. Keeping both sit bones on the ground. Inhale, expand the right side of the body. This doesn't have to be a super deep, intense stretch. Inhale, coming back to the top. Just an opening of the sides of the body. So we'll inhale, reach up, and exhale, stretching over to the right side one more time. Inhale to come back up. And exhale, turning the gaze to the right, stretching over to the left. Inhale to come back up. And then exhale to set the strap down on your thighs for a moment. Maybe you shake out the arms. You can do a couple of circles with the shoulders. Your shoulders might be getting a little bit tired here. And the next stretch that we'll do is what I call shoulder flossing. So bringing your hands back out to that V shape on the strap. We'll just move the strap forward and behind us, just further getting a little bit more blood flow in the shoulder joint. So inhaling to bring the strap up, and you can exhale, bring it down behind you. And you can bring the hands a little bit further apart on the strap to create a little bit more ease and range of motion to floss the shoulders. Just remember to keep staying with your breath as you move. Try not to create any added tension at the elbows and the wrists here. So if you find that you're gripping really hard onto the strap, see if you can ease up the grip. Maybe just wrap your thumb and your pointer finger around the strap. And take one more like this. And then we can set the strap down and off to the side. I'm sure your shoulders are pretty tired by now and you're pretty done with the strap. But you've gotten a lot of the kinks and the tension out of your shoulders, and now we can really stretch and relax from here. So we'll shift onto our hands and knees. So you can remove whatever you are sitting on. And come into a tabletop position to start. So your knees are underneath your hips, hands are underneath your shoulders, displaying your fingertips apart. Drop the belly. Inhale. Well, really let the belly and the chest sink down, and the shoulder blades can hug together on the back and look up. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone, hug the belly towards the spine, pressing the ground away from you so that the shoulders can float away from each other. Inhale to cow. And exhale to your angry cat. And take a few more like this with your breath. And then bringing your spine back to a neutral position, you can bring your toes together. Maybe you widen the knees, or you can bring the knees together and start to sit your hips back onto your heels, coming into child's pose. But before you lay all the way down, see if you can crawl your fingertips away from you, lengthening the torso, and then Coming down onto your thighs and relaxing the head down. And once you've made your way into child's pose, you don't need to reach with the arms as much anymore. You've already created that length, so see if you can really relax the shoulders here. And if you're having trouble relaxing the shoulders with the arms reached out in front of you, you can also tuck the arms by the sides and allow the shoulders to hang heavy towards the ground, turning one cheek to the mat. If you're feeling fully relaxed in this position here, I invite you to stay. If you'd like a little bit more space at the side of the body, you can reach your hands forward and then start to reach your hands off to the side, guiding your torso over your right leg, and then relaxing your torso down, reaching your hips back, getting a nice stretch in the left side of the body. And if you're reaching over to the right, slowly start to lift your gaze, and you can crawl your hands over to the left, this time draping your torso over the left leg, and then relaxing your body over towards the left, getting a nice stretch in the right side of the torso. Guiding your inhales to the right side rib cage. And slowly, if you are bending over to the left, lift your gaze, start to walk your hands back to the center of your mat. And slowly make your way back up to tabletop. And then find your way onto your back. We'll come into a reclining position. You can hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe you rock side to side, massaging the lower back on the ground. And then if you have that blanket or pillow nearby, one variation I invite you to do is to bring the pillow between the legs. And if you bring your arms into a T, out to a T, you can drape the legs over to the right, and then shift your gaze to the left. So you're getting a gentle twist in this reclined position. And if you need a deeper stretch here and you want to ditch the pillow, you can always cross the left ankle over the right knee and then allow your legs to fall off to the right. Just soften your gaze or close your eyes here. Settling into the back side of the body now. Allowing the left back of the left shoulder to fall heavy towards the floor. Broadening the collarbones and creating a little bit more space at the front of the chest. And slowly start to come out of this twist. You can glide your left fingertips over towards the right, kind of folding off to the right, unraveling your legs, and then coming back onto your back, hugging your knees to your chest. And then doing the same variation that you took on the last side, so hugging the pillow between the knees, or maybe taking that deeper twist by crossing the right ankle over the left knee, arms out to a T, allowing the legs fall off to the left side this time. And your gaze can be up towards the ceiling or off towards the right fingertips. Notice if you are feeling any sensations in your body on this side that you did not experience on the last side. And start to deepen your breath here. Grounding the back of the right shoulder to the ground. Broadening the space at the front of the chest. And depending on the depth of your twist here, sometimes you can feel the stretch at the hip, and sometimes you can feel this stretch at the front of the shoulder, depending on where you are tight or holding tension. There's a large muscle at the front of your shoulder called the pectoralis majora. You also have a pectoralis minora, which kind of hides underneath that. But the pec muscle can cause a lot of tension in the shoulder too, not just the muscles along the back of the neck and the back of the shoulder, because it can pull on those muscles or connective tissues that all connect to the collarbone, the shoulder blade, and the upper arm bone or the humerus bone. And slowly start to guide your right fingertips over towards the left hand, rolling onto your left side. And then you can hug your knees into your belly, coming back onto your back. Maybe you bring your forehead to your knees. And then exhale, releasing your legs out, arms out by your sides, coming into a brief shavasana. And allow gravity to take over here. The back of the body is heavy on the floor. And if your mind starts to wander, see if you can bring your attention to the soft rise and fall of the belly as your body starts to auto-regulate the breath. And keeping the eyes closed, you can start to shake the head on the ground, just massaging the back of the skull on the ground. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes. And hugging your knees into your belly, falling off to one side. And pressing your hands into the ground when you're ready to come back into a seat. Resting your palms back in your lap. We'll take one last breath here together to close the practice. Exhaling all of the stale air and tension that you're holding on to from the mouth. Inhale through your nose. Grow a little bit taller. Inhale, take one last sip of air. And exhale, sigh it out. And I will see you at class next week.